Yes, I am Engineer Jonathan San Juan. Actually, I'm a mechanical engineer by profession and currently running my own business and also have been serving the profession of mechanical engineering through the Pambansang Samahan ng Ingenyero Mechanical as the National Treasurer, and just recently have formed the Engineers for a Better Philippines movement, which I am the president, and also have served various social programs of our community.
Are you happy about the election?
Yes, of course, no, of course. First time in my life of being exposed to elections like this, that I saw people how they are happy also, and how the proceedings went on. And I think most of the elections, this is something that I could say is most done very efficiently with support of electronics and everything, and of course the confidence of people speaks about what the results of the election is. No?
Why are you happy?
Yes, because I know everybody came out, everybody went to vote. It's the first time I think around 80% plus of Filipino people went out to vote. No? Because they believe they have to participate. So that gives me happiness because even how poor or what status of life people are in, they are there equally given the chance to exercise suffrage. And this year, I think it was something that they have looked into, no? And we saw that in the many people who have really give time for this election, and that gives me happiness.
And why do you? Why can you tell me why your candidate? Why do you think he was the best for the country?
Well, because of course he's guided by several principles, like theism, that he believes that everything that God has created is has to be given importance, and because of that, he shares the responsibility to a lot of people, so that at least we take care of what has God has created, especially the environment. He's a believer of the importance of humanity. Of course, it's very important that in any organization, it's the people who is being given importance, and I could see that in the president BBM, no, because he believes that very important among God's creation is are the people, no. Also, he believes in socialized, enlightened socialism. He believes that everybody has the capacity or the capability to be able to uh, to have I mean a to take advantage of all that what has God has created. As long as you are industrious, as long as you give your roles and discipline, of course you have the equal chances of being rich or being also product at least to be able to realize your dreams in your personal lives, no. And of course he believes in direct democracy. You know, the president have been asking a lot of different sectors of our society because he believes of empowering them, no, because the needs of these people is better defined by these people also. So he believes in direct democracy, and of course he believes in federalism, empowering groups of people, because it is in federalism that innovativeness and creativeness can come out. No, it's not being dictated because what and who among those who should know the problems of the society are the common people. And though the president seeks their and listen to their suggestions every now and then. So I believe and I'm happy that the president is along those guiding principles.
His platform, or he was running on unity, right? Unity was the most important message. Do you think because he's also a controversial candidate because he comes from a controversial family. Do you think it's he will be able to unite the country?
Yes, of course, yes, because of his humility. And I would always say this: what makes him different is because he has love in his heart, and that is basically what the world needs now. It's love, no? and because of love he will be able to listen, no? And whatever it is in the past, I think what is most important today is he is be able to unite and to link people who can contribute to the progress of our nation. And I think he's into that. That's why he is into unifying leadership, because it's no longer because you belong to this party. It's no longer because you've been blaming people around you in the past, but it's putting them together on where they are strong, and identifying where they can be serving in their most competence and capabilities, and putting them together. A very good characteristic of a servant leader, and I could see that in our president BBM.
What do you want to tell the people who didn't vote for him, who say that they are afraid that that martial law will come back, that they say that the election was not right? What do you want to tell these people who doubt this candidate?
Yes, of course, I'll tell them every one of you is being respected. And of course, it could always be other side of the coins. What others believe may not be the beliefs of other people. But I would tell them it's time to go on and to move on, because this time it is the Constitution who's telling us otherwise, that a new president has come out, and I think it is but proper that we give up what is in our personal beliefs and believe the majority, because that is the voice of God, no? And but I will tell you also that it's also a good thing that you were instrument in trying to let other people discover what they are, because your feelings was God's instrument of bringing out the character of each individual person. And those characters may not be good characters, but at least they found out that they can do something to improve on them. And so I thank you, and we thank those who are opposing, because their ideas are likewise listened to make each other people better. I would say it is also an opportunity for others to just keep silent, but I think they are being used by the Lord above there to redeem other people. Because in times that we do not react, though we wanted to get angry, it's because God is using us so that the others who are blaming or telling negative things that we do not know, and they see us not minding them, they are in a big question, no, and a good way of trying to realize why these people are not speaking negative against people who speak negatives on them. And they change, they are being changed and redeemed, no, they are being changed in character as a whole.
Um, do you remember the times of Ferdinand Marcos Senior?
Not all, but I've been hearing some.
And what do you remember and what do you hear? It's like how would you describe it?
Well, honestly, establishments that I've seen today, which I have been into, is are establishments by the senior Ferdinand Marcos, like the Heart Center, like the Kidney Institute. You know, I'm not into the Kidney Institute, but I have friends who I bring help to this institution, and I believe these are coming from and have been organized by the old. And what is that for me? Of course, that is something that we cannot forget. Though many years have passed after them, these establishments remain useful and significant to especially the people who are in greater need. No? And that means something to me. And that makes me remember Ferdinand Marcos. And of course, the peacefulness, the discipline of people. I would always be reminded of that slogan of sa ikaungulad ng bayan, disiplina ang kailangan. And I would always agree and think of bringing that back today, because no matter how good people are, if they lose discipline, country will not grow at all. So that came from the era of Ferdinand Marcos, and been hearing about how people behave and obey, function as a body during those times, no? And of course, it will not be forgotten.
Um, what do you want to tell the people who say that there was torture and murder during the time? Do you what do have you heard about that? Do you think that is true? Is this a distortion of
I
history?
really have no exact data on that, and of course, well, the other side of that is the discipline that I was mentioning. You know, in any organization, there would always be people who oppose rightfully, but people who oppose not unrighteously. And probably, and I believe, because I believe of being a good father. I have a father my own. Of course, there are times that I have to be given some sanctions also, but because he wanted to discipline me, and because more than that is because he loves me. And I think that's just being misinterpreted. But at the end of the day, it is just love of the country and love of the Filipino people to whatever that happened in the past. No? And I really don't have the exact information on that.
But for you, the Marcos family will bring that stands for patriotism and
Course.
serving the Filipino people.
Yes, yes, and exactly that what I saw. You saw, I said a while ago when you said, I said it pays off. What pays off? Well, we are volunteers of the Bongbong Marcos campaign, and I belong to the Partido Federal ng Pilipinas, though as a member, and it's all voluntarily, and of course, pains were there. I remember, I remember people speaking against the candidate that we are pushing through. And so it's painful to us. But, we did not stop, because I believe that the character of our President Bongbong Marcos is what I am looking for. What? A father-like image, a good husband, which I believe will be a good father of the nation. And I would always and repeat that there is love, and so there is worth in fighting for, no. And when he won, I said, this is it, this is it. And but during the campaign, there are a lot of learnings I've gone through. I saw a lot of people, hopeless people. I've seen people who has to bring their parents in Manila just to have their dialysis treatment, meaning there are no facilities in their remote areas. I one time I even shared my bed to that lady who is on a wheelchair. But you know what is running in my mind? The more I have to fight for BBM, because I believe and I know that in part of his strategic development plans are these hospitals for the public, that would benefit all these people who I've seen during the campaign. No? And that means that gives meaning to my efforts and sacrifices. And I just do hope and I believe that Bongbong Marcos will continue to be guided by those principles of direct democracy, listening to them, listening to the poor, especially to the sick. And I know he will do that, because it started talking to the nurses, talking to the drivers, because the problems are really what these people are experiencing today. And exactly, I will always say this, because I believe that Bongbong Marcos will work hard, unite people, so that we will be able to achieve a quality of life for each Filipino. That is my belief, and I am into his journey. The Partido Federal ng Pilipinas, of course, to the vision of a Philippine society of God-loving people under one constitutive nation with morally conscious economy and direct democracy under the state of federal government. That is where we are going. And I believe in that. I believe in decentralization. I believe in giving empowerment to a lot of people down the line. Because I've seen them, I've met them. I've met them during the campaign. People who shrug their shoulders, people who don't have money just to be there on rallies because they wanted to have hopes. That is the promise. And I think that is where we are going. And that is where the uniting leadership of BBM will bring us to. And so that's why until now I am excited. It keeps me excited because it's not just letting him win, but it's us being placed to that vision that I've just mentioned to you. And in my lifetime, I really wanted to be part of it. And I would always challenge the people who I speak to that someday they will be proud that they were part of that vision. Yes.
Thank you very much. 31 million people voted for Mr. Marcos. He has a clear mandate. So
Yes.
I wish the Philippines the best.
Thank you.
Yes. Of course, with God.